Hey guys, this is Lee. It's a beautiful sunny Sunday, in Germany, and the light is finally a bit better. It's mostly gloomy here in winter season, and so I thought I'll just shoot a quick video of what I've got in bloom right now. I mean, other than my Phalaenopsis are beautiful plants, and nevertheless they're easy to grow. They give you a nice show. But these three plants that I've got here, they don't only give you a nice show, but they present you a nice fragrance. And who doesn't like fragrant orchids? So I'll show these three guys to you. So this is my beautiful Miltoniopsis something. I think Mike Lung, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, gave me the name for this hybrid, but I keep forgetting actually. Last time I showed you this Miltoniopsis, it only had one spike in bloom, and now it has two spikes, and I just wanted to show it to you again because Miltoniopsis, if they have a nice showy bloom, it's really impressive. So it has these beautiful, I don't know why it's not focusing, waterfall, this glowing waterfall on its lip, and this glowing yellow center, and Miltoniopsises have this beautiful rosy-like fragrance. Some of them have this strong honey-like fragrance, but most of them have a rosy fragrance, and that's the reason why I'm growing Miltoniopsises in the first place, right? I mean, they're really beautiful. Just look at these flowers here. But the fragrance is what makes them special, for me at least. As you can see, this flower here is not too happy. As I told you guys, my Miltoniopsises have a problem. They still have a problem. They're kind of recovering from it. But when this was a bud, it was affected, and you can tell. It only opened up a couple of days ago, or 2 or 3 days, but the flower looks like it's already on its way out. But in fact, this is because it's affected by the pest. The rest of the flowers are okay. They're smelling beautiful. I bought this plant about 2 years ago from a flower shop, actually. I saw 2 of these and I'm like, wow, they look really beautiful. They have a really nice fragrance. So I gotta buy them, one for me and one for my friend. And then when I first rebloomed them the next year, the flowers, the lip wouldn't fully open up. I didn't like that. I thought there was something wrong with the plant, but of course it was me, not the plant. And this year it's fully opening. It's opening up the lip fully, and that's really beautiful. I repotted this orchid about 1.5 years ago. You should repot them every year. That's what they say, because the media breaks down so fast, and the roots of this orchid, they don't like bad media. The media I'm using is, you can hardly tell because it's so old and dark. It's sphagnum moss, and let me get this closer, maybe then we have a chance to see. Sphagnum moss and leca and bark. I do have to report it. Last time, as I said, when I reported it was 1.5 years ago. And that's when I also did a rhizome cut, and I'm glad actually how the orchid developed after the rhizome cut. Okay, the pest wasn't the plant's fault. It was mine, obviously, but it survived the rhizome cut fairly well. I have to remove that pseudobulb when I repot this guy here, and yes, So don't be scared. Don't be scared of rhizome cuts with Miltoniopsis. Sometimes you just have to do so in order to make the plant grow well, because if the new growth go up too far up in the air and the roots don't reach the media, this won't work for the plant either. You can see everything is really old. Poof, I do have to work on that. But other than that, don't we love Miltoniopsis? So next up is this cutie here. It's a Phalaenopsis Tzu Chiang Balm. Yes. And it's a fragrant Phalaenopsis. It's not a very strong fragrance, but you surely do notice it when you come close. It's a more citrusy, very light fragrance, not sweet at all. And it has these little, let me get this closer and stop wobbling around so it can focus. Little tiny flowers. They're little tiny flowers. But I think what makes this beautiful is the number of flowers that's on this spike here. It's really cute. The buds haven't fully opened up yet, but I thought I'll just show it to you guys anyway. I'm growing this in sphagnum moss, and I constantly keep overwatering it. I don't know why. I can always tell myself not to water that much, but when you're doing your weekly watering and then you're like, it's not actually dry yet, but I don't want to water again in a couple of days, you just pour some water over it, and then it ends up being too much. And I remember this one has lost all its roots, I think 1.5 years ago, because of my overwatering, and but it bounced back. Right now it's living under a LED light, a normal LED light with about 200 foot candles, or about 250 foot candles, I guess. And it put out a new leaf. It put out this beautiful flower spike. I don't know if you look at this leaf, if it came too close, but actually I don't know where it looks like a burn, but I don't know where this came from actually. This is an older leaf from the time when all my Phals had a problem. I think it was thrips, although I never saw it. They finally fell off, and then the Phalaenopsis is recovered. Yeah. So this is my Phalaenopsis Tzu Chiang Balm. And then we've got here, it's a Cattleya, Qing Ming Beauty. Oops, it was supposed to be smooth, but it's not. Cattleya Qing Ming Beauty, with these beautiful flowers. This guy here bloomed for me 5 months ago, which isn't too bad. So, oh, did I just break? No, I didn't. So it's about 2 to 3 times a year, which is okay for me. The flowers aren't too big for Cattleya, right? They're kind of small, but it's all right. And they have this beautiful sepals and petals and lips, and this beautiful, quite strong rose fragrance. I think this time it's even stronger than the last time. If you're into rosy fragrances, this one is an orchid that you should get. And it doesn't require much. It grows under a artificial light, I have to say, and it's quite a strong light. I think it emits like 3,000 foot candles. But other than that, it's just growing in, let me get you down, growing in leca. I know it's really unsightly and I have to clean the pot every now and then because of the algae, but I'm just very lazy. It's in a self-watering setup, but you can tell the roots are really okay. Look at the roots up here. There are a lot of roots growing into the pot and providing enough water. And actually I'm not doing much with this plant other than adding water to it every now and then to the reservoir. I think like every 3 weeks or something. So this is an easy to care for Cattleya with a nice strong rose-like fragrance. Look at the leaves, by the way. With these purplish spots, I think the reason is because it got a little bit too much light. Normally I don't really care. I read somewhere that if the orchid gets enough light, oops, what happened? If it gets enough light, it might turn purple. They call it anthocyanin. And normally it looks like this. The edges become like purplish, which was just okay by me. But why in this case it is so spotted on this growth here and on the other growth that was growing at the same time and sadly didn't put out a flower sheath, I don't know. But the leaves are firm. I don't see any bite marks whatsoever. I'll just wait and see what happens. But other than that, this is one happy plant and look at these flowers. All right, guys, have a happy weekend. Bye.